All right, BradCooney.com. I'd like to welcome in from The Voice Season 14, Mr. Terrence Cunningham. Terrence, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure to be here.
Well, we're honored to have you on board. Look, I watched your blind audition, as well as 2.3 million other people on YouTube, and it was just an amazing performance. I've been watching The Voice since the very first season, and I've been interviewing The Voice contestants for 6 seasons now, and I got to tell you, that was one of the most amazing blind performances I've ever heard.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. So, I mentioned the amount of people that viewed it, 2.3 million. That's basically the population of Houston, like everybody in Houston. I just picked a city with about 2 million people. So how humbling is that? Talk about that. I mean, I know you've been a musician for a long time. I've researched, but could you have imagined 2.3 million people watching your blind audition? That's just on YouTube. We're not including everybody else in TV world.
Right. Well, to be quite honest with you, I really can't explain what it feels like. It still seems to me that it's a bit unreal. Because for me, I basically went up and sang a song. That's how I kind of keep the humility down. I did something that, I've been doing all my life, and to have such a warm response is something that's truly, truly heartwarming. I've gotten messages literally from around the world. People were messaging me in different languages, and I had to use an app to figure out what they were saying. So I could respond in turn. So I'm truly, truly grateful. And it's still, this was a week ago, and it's still something that's not real to me, even though it is very real. So what it does is that it makes you feel the responsibility and further the obligation to be true to your art, to be true to everyone else that witnesses what you have to say, witnesses what you have to sing. And I'm still, to this very moment, even this interview now, is something that I'm so grateful for, and I'm so privileged to have been asked to do.
Oh, that's great. You mentioned a minute ago about being true, and I think, obviously your vocals are just ridiculously good, but I think what also adds to your repertoire is the emotion, the human feel, the human element there, and I think that's what really, really reached out and grabbed everybody, was not only the fantastic vocals, because I don't want to water that down either. Your vocals were tremendous. But I also got, you really made everybody believe. The belief, the real feel there. That's what I really, really was impressed with.
Oh, thank you. I dedicated that song to my daughter, who is indeed my best friend. I was 16 when she was born, so in a way, we sort of raised each other. And so it was easy for me to invoke such emotion because I was singing about her. This is, a young lady that I talk to every day. This is possibly the only human that I'm afraid of. And so it's so easy to be so passionate. And I think that's really what resonated with people around the world, because I've been getting messages from dads telling me that their daughter's going to be born soon, and fathers that have 2 little girls, and we thank you so much for standing up and representing what true fatherhood is all about. And so that's why I think it was so much more than just a song. This is something that can be felt worldwide. The perpetuation of the strong family. I think that's what's necessity in the world going now and going forward.
You really hit on a strong point. There's so many kids out there that don't have dads in their lives now, across all colors, across all genres. There's kids that don't have fathers, and I think that you really sent a great message. And maybe, if you inspire just one dad out there to go get more involved with his daughter, it was worth it.
Well, and really, that's what it's really all about. I think every artist in whatever form, whether you're a pastor, whether you're a public speaker, whether you're a teacher, it's always the occasion of every artist to awe and inspire everybody, right? And so I've gotten messages from young girls that say, my mom had me at 16 too, and she sacrificed all that she had to do, and it makes me that much more grateful lives on hold to better raise us. And that's what every parent, whether, you know, you were planning to have the child or not, it's our responsibility to raise that life. I mean, that's the blessing of being a parent, is you're given such a monumental stage to raise a human being.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's an occasion more strong or more dedication-driven than that. So I'm so truly grateful to have had that opportunity. I've gotten, this guy said his daughter is due, I think, in the next month or two. And I said, you know what, man, the blessing is that you'll be there when she gets here. So she's already ahead of the game because she has you to assist, you know, with, you know, her mom and things like that. And I know that it's a thing in our country and possibly further our world that the family fabric seems to be dissipating a bit. So if anything that I can do to inspire people to, you know, think again and to spend more time with their family, that's what it's all about. Yeah,
man. Well said. So well said, Terrence. So you sang My Girl, and you put a really, really unique twist on it, your own twist. Is this a song that you sang previous to the Voice Blind Audition? And like, was this a rendition that you've done before? Or was this a creation that you came up with for the show, for the Blind Audition?
You know what, there's an interesting story about that song, too. About a year ago, two really good friends of mine got married, and the wife said, you know, at the time, the fiance said, you know, I want to come down the aisle to My Girl. Can you sing it slow? And at first I had no clue. I was like, what? I said, sure, okay, I'll try to come up with something. And I sat at the keyboard and workshopped, God knows, hundreds of ideas. And I kind of fell into this melody on the piano. And I said, I think that's it. And I sang it at the wedding, and everyone was so overjoyed. Her mom came up to me crying, said that was one of the most beautiful things that I'd ever heard. And then when I got the opportunity to be on the show, they said, hey, we kind of picture you singing My Girl at the piano. I said, well, oh my goodness, well, yes.
Wow.
I could absolutely do that. And so it worked out, you know, fully in my favor, and I was so ecstatic because I had already had an idea, because there's so much pressure for the blind, as you know.
Of course.
Because you can have the most amazing voice, but if you have a poor song choice,
that's right,
then it kind of weighs in the balance. So I went up there so confident because I know exactly how the song goes. I know every chord change that I want to do. So I went up there knowing that everything was going to go well. At least I prayed that it would.
And it sure did. I mean, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so you had a 4-chair turn. Everybody turned. Adam Levine says something to you that really resonated with me. He said that you don't need us, we need you. I've never heard a judge say that like that before. That was amazing. So what was going through your mind when you heard that?
Actually, standing up there, if you notice, I was holding my arm while I was talking because, one, I couldn't believe I was standing up there. Performance for me, when I sit down and play, I kind of feel this atmosphere around me and the world kind of disappears. But when I have to stand up in front of people, it's a completely different set of fears that kick in. So when he said that, and I knew that my parents were in the waiting area waiting to see me, and I knew that they heard that, and my father actually yelled out, and I think they show it when they show after he said that, my father, you know, kind of screamed out. And I really can't explain how that feels. It's so interesting when you know, have a great accomplishment in your life, and people say, are you happy? And I don't think happy is ever sufficient enough to explain what something like that feels like. When you have someone that you admire speak so highly of you, I don't know how that feels. You know, it's a blissful uncomfortability, if you will, to have someone say something so great about you, and you just have to stand there and say, oh, thank you, you know. So that's why, if you notice, I gave a lot of one-word answers because I didn't know what to say.
Yeah, I get that.
The 4 people that I fully admire, and they're talking about me. So, you know, let alone me, the guy that likes to sing and play the piano. And so it was really kind of an out-of-body thing.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, man. I mean, how surreal that must have been. I mean, and these judges are like absolute legends in music. I mean,
absolutely. Absolutely.
So
that was another thing that made it so hard.
Right. And ultimately, you picked Alicia Keys, and you know, honestly, you can't go wrong. I've told other contestants this: you can't go wrong with any of those judges because they're such elite level. They're at such an elite level, you know. So you picked Alicia Keys, who I absolutely adore. I mean, I'm a big fan of hers for her whole career. So I love her music, but I also love how she is. I can't say I love her because I've never met her, but you know what I mean. I love the way she conducts herself. I love the way she really reaches into your soul. She just seems like a very kind and warm, person. So I guess talk a little bit about the thought process about picking Alicia and getting to know her a little bit. How's that been?
Okay. Well, you always have someone in mind when you go out there. You say, I'm going to pick this one, I'm going to pick that one. And what it was about Alicia, it was one line, because I was really kind of torn, to be quite honest, because they didn't air this part, but Adam really spoke to me the longest.
Okay.
Due to time constraints, they weren't able to. So I really had my mind made up, and it was something that Alicia said. She said, it's something when divinity enters the room.
Yes.
You know, something important is happening. And that was that one line. That's why I hashtag divinity.
Yeah.
That was the line that did it. Because growing up, you know, in the church, I'm a firm believer, you know, in Christ, and that things happen as they should. So when she said that to me, I knew that was the line that settled it for me. Yeah. And even in addition to that, she has such a, like you said, she has such a calming kind of spirit about her.
Yes.
And she's very compassionate. She's very sweet. We've had some opportunities since then, of course, to work on the battle round stuff and everything like that. And she's so in tune to you. She's a very kind of polarizing thing, but she kind of injects that polarization onto you. It seems like you're the only person in the world when she's talking to you. And of course, outside of her being absolutely stunning and beautiful, her presence is the exact same way. She comes in, she's very, very sure of herself. She's very compassionate and warm. And she really just wants to know what she can do of herself to better aid you. So I think, you know, in retrospect, it was absolutely the right decision. And in addition to all of those things, we both play the piano and sing. And we're the same age. So I kind of feel like we'd be buddies outside of this. I kind of feel like we'd hang out and get a drink and just, you know, have fun, you know. And so that commonality and that camaraderie that I think that we share is something else that pushed me to choose her.
Yeah, you know what? When I was watching it, and I saw you playing piano, and the first thing that came to my mind, I said, "Oh man, Alicia's gonna love this when she turns around," because she just loves it. You know, she appreciates not only good vocals, but obviously she loves it when a contestant can play instruments, especially a piano. So I was like, "Oh man, when she turns around, she's gonna love this."
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, that was my hope, that she would see that I was playing, because, you know, it's a blind audition, so that could have been someone in the band playing. So I'm just glad that she turned around and thought, well, no, that was me. You know, I can play and I can sing. So yeah, she was absolutely the best choice for me. She's the best choice.
I think so too. You know, you mentioned a minute ago about how Adam, and of course the show, you know, they have to edit just for time reasons. So we didn't get to see the full pitch. But so you're telling me Adam really pitched hard, huh? Yeah, he almost had you swayed?
Yes, because if you remember, Adam turned first.
Yeah, he did.
It was Alicia, and then Kelly and Blake turned simultaneously. And so when I first got up, I mean, come to find out, we have some mutual friends that are in the industry that we were speaking about, and he was basically saying what he said, that you don't need us, we need you. You know, you're beyond this, and I know you're going to go far, whether you pick me as your coach or not. He gave me the longest address out of all of them. And I could tell that he was disappointed that I didn't pick him. And he said, you know, pick me, don't pick me. I'm sure we're going to work together in some capacity outside of the voice. There were probably 30 cameras in there.
Yeah.
There's people in there on the edge of their seats. Well, who's he going to pick? And then they, you know, the music comes down, you know, kind of like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It says, well, who do you pick? You're standing there, like, you know, like a deer in headlights. And I just said, I picked Alicia. And, you know, not that I never regret it by any stretch, but he did give me the longest talking to. He did.
Wow.
And I appreciate it so much for that.
Oh, absolutely. You know what really makes Alicia dangerous when it becomes to competing against her as a judge is, I mean, obviously her musical genius is you know, goes without saying, but the way she pitches, the way she phrases her wording, and I mean, she would be a great, like, defense attorney or attorney laying out a case. I mean, because she is, you know what I'm saying? She is lethal, man. How she presents her package, to, you know, how she pitches it. Wow. I mean, it's like mesmerizing.
Yeah. And there's so much power in direct eye contact, because I felt like she was looking into me.
Right.
Because she made eye contact, and she didn't break her glance of her stare for 1 second. And she's so, like you said, it's so powerful just to see her talk to you, and her word choice, like, you had this vacuum effect in here, and it got quiet when you got in here, and the whole divinity line, words have so much power.
Right.
And clearly, she is a master of giving those speeches. She needs to be a coach or something, a professional coach for a team, you know, to go out there and win it, because then you believe her. That's the thing. They're not just empty words. You believe everything that comes out of her mouth. Yeah, man. And that's why, that's another reason why I chose it. It's undeniable.
Alicia Keys for president. Alicia Keys for president, man. She gets some stuff done.
Absolutely.
She gets some stuff done. So how was it, you know, I always ask this question when I talk to The Voice contestants. What was your journey to The Voice? Because sometimes The Voice finds talent and they reach out to them, or sometimes it's the other way around where somebody just reaches out to The Voice and tries out. How did you end up on the show?
It was the former thing that she said.
Cool.
Evidently, sometimes they scour, you know, social media sites looking for talent, and someone found me random, because honestly, I don't have a lot of things on YouTube. If you go to my YouTube channel, there's 3 videos on there.
Yeah, no, I did look.
The other day. So I really believe that it was something meant to be, that they found me. I think it was on Facebook. And I only posted 2 or 3 videos on there because every artist with their offerings, it's like I'm showcasing, you know. So if I'm going to post something of me singing, it's something that I hold so dear, so I only post a few things here and there. And of those few things, someone saw me.
Wow. And
gave me a call, sent me an inbox. Now, you know, inboxes can get a little tricky.
Yeah.
So at first, I thought it was like a joke or something. I thought, oh, come on, man, this isn't real. And the person kept reaching out, and I finally called, and come to find out, they said, hey, I'm a representation of The Voice, and we want to try to get you involved. Nice. And I said, well, great. Okay. And I went in, and I still had to audition. I missed the cattle call part, but I still did have to audition for the show, and here we are.
That's amazing. You know, I'm also a firm believer in God, and I do believe in divine intervention all the time. Just think about everything's got all the stars and all the planets have to line up perfectly. So if you would have just said, you know what, I'm not gonna respond to that inbox. You know, if you would have said that, none of this would have happened. None of it. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, I think you're right, and I was very close to not responding to it at all. I was just saying, well, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that something did kind of urge me to say, you know what, I think you need to do this.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the voice that I heard say, you probably going to return this phone call.
Yes, sir.
And thank God that I did, because my life has not been the same since we started getting ready for the show. It's changed dramatically, and I'm so truly, truly grateful for it.
Absolutely, man. Total divine intervention. I'm a firm believer in that.
Absolutely. 100%.
Absolutely, 100%. All right, so the night before the blind audition, talk about like what's going through your mind. I'm guessing you didn't get much sleep, or some people can do it. Some people can sleep, but for me, I wouldn't be able to sleep. So how was the night before for you?
Yes.
No, the night before you had to get out there and do this blind audition.
Oh, yeah. I don't know that I really slept because it all culminated to that one 90-second moment. You know, and in some instance, you say, my whole life is based on this, which isn't necessarily true, but in a way it kind of is, because everything that I've sang since I was a little 3-year-old, my mom was the choir director up until now, some 33 years ago, was all hinging on that one moment, and that can drive a person crazy.
Oh, my God.
For me, luckily, the piano's like a third arm to me. So luckily, I got to play the piano and sit there. Because once I sit down, like I told you before, the world kind of closes off. But there's a lot of nerves, and, you know, they coach you through, and, you know, there's a lot of drinking tea in the back and pacing back and forth, in addition to doing interviews back there and getting your mic checked and getting your makeup done and getting your clothes, you know, printed and all that stuff. So there's some calming things that I try to do, just keep in mind that I believe God brought me here, so I can't get in my head about it too much. And I know things are going to go well. Everything happens the way as it should. It's something I'm a firm believer in. And so I had to use all those tools that I've had in my life of study, of spiritual matters and things like that, to kind of keep my head calm. And I knew my parents were there. There's so much pressure, and people are going to see this. People around the world are going to see this. It's going to be on YouTube, and oh my goodness. So, but for me, when they gave the cue to go out on stage, all that stopped. Because at that point, there's no turning back. They open those doors, and you have to walk out there. And what's really, really daunting about that, when they tape, the crowd isn't allowed to react to you. So the crowd is dead silent. They can't say, oh, hey, you look great, or hey, no, they can't say a word. So you're walking out on the stage in front of possibly 300 or 500 people, and it's dead silent.
Oh, man, that's so crazy.
It's a daunting thing to do. Yeah.
Not to mention the 4 legends that have their backs to you, that are waiting for you to start singing.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
There's so many things that can really, if you're not careful, you can really get in your head about it. So I'm normally a very kind of calm person anyway, and I've been kind of a calming presence, I think, even throughout the show, even with other contestants. I would go in like, hey, are you okay? Is everything all right? And try to calm them down. And so, yeah, it can be a really hectic thing if you allow it to be.
Wow. Okay. 2 more things, and I'll let you go. I know we're running a little bit late here. So some of the contestants tell me that over the past few years that they're so in the zone when they're singing, they're so in the zone that they didn't even hear the chairs turn. What about you? Like, did you actually, when you were singing, I mean, obviously you're kind of facing them, so, but what was going through your mind, like, when the chairs turned? Did you go with a big, deep breath of fresh air and kind of relax after that, or what was in your mind?
Yes. Contrary to popular belief, we don't hear that noise.
Ah, okay.
That would be That would be very distracting. You don't hear that.
Okay.
But we do see when they turn around, because they don't want it once to startle you in the middle of your song.
Sure. Right.
But we don't hear that up on stage. But I was singing, and I got to about, and it was something around when it's cold outside, I think right after I said the word sunshine on a cloudy day, Adam turned. Mm-hmm. So what happens, everyone starts screaming. So I thought they were screaming because I sounded really good. I'm good, you know.
Okay.
But the fact of the matter is, they were screaming because Adam turned around. So
gotcha.
Adam is on my left, out of my periphery to my left. And I thought in that moment, I mean, you can't freak out. Because, one, there was an ongoing joke. When someone turns, I'm going to stop in the middle of the song. That's what everyone said. You know, you never do that.
No.
Because you made it. You can't unturn your chair, you know? So when he turned, in that moment, I was like, oh, my God, I made it. I did it. So I just went back to singing the song. I didn't know that they had all turned until I finished. Because I just started singing again. And then I thought they were all turned around because the song was over. I said, oh, I did it. You know, Adam turned, all the chairs are turned now. But I looked down and saw all of their names lit up. And I was like, oh my God, all 4 of them turned around.
Wow.
And I didn't realize it until I finished the song. Because I had to say, well, at least I got to get through the song.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how it happened.
So it is true then. I mean, you were only conscious of one chair turn, and then you missed the other 3 because you were in the zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because like I said, I just wanted to get through the song. I knew that I made the show, so of course I'm trying to sing and play, and sing well and play well, and also grapple with the fact that I accomplished what we've been working on for so long. So it was a lot to just get through the rest of the song. And God, I stayed on key and on pitch the rest, and I didn't fumble and didn't play a wrong note.
Yeah.
So it was a lot happening in that moment. But again, it was one of the best moments of my life outside of my daughter being born. It was the best thing that's happened in recent years for me.
Man, and you know the beauty of this show, win, lose, or draw, no matter where you end up, whether you win the whole thing or you don't, it's always going to be on your resume that you were on The Voice, national TV.
Yes.
You know, you worked. You know, you worked with the legendary Alicia Keys. That's always on your resume. So obviously, you're going to have spin-off opportunities from that going forward forever.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. That was one of those seeds that I think would bear ever fruit. So again, it's such an amazing opportunity, and I'm just looking forward to moving forward and making the best of the show that I can.
Absolutely. Okay, one last thing. I was curious about how long you've been playing piano, and can you play any other instruments?
Yes. If you let my parents tell it, they bought me a piano at 3 years old, keyboard. Yeah.
Wow.
And for Christmas, and my father is a musician. He plays guitar. He played a lot of folk cover bands in South Carolina, and he played keyboard a little bit, and he played Little Red Corvette, which is
by Prince.
All white keys. Yeah, by Prince. It's an F major chord, G major chord, and A minor chord for the chorus. And he played it and said, I kind of remember this and that really. He said, well, can you do that? And evidently I did it verbatim the way that he did it. And so they knew at that moment that I was going to be a musician. And then from then on, I played by ear. I took some lessons when I was 9 for about 3 years. And then I was playing in church, playing all these things. And I've always sang because my mom was a choir director. When I wanted to sing solo or not, I didn't really have a choice. So that was, all those things brought me to where I am today. And any other instruments, I actually played the drums in church for a few years.
Cool.
And I use the word play guitar very loosely because I feel like I'm terrible. But I can pick out some things on guitar because when you can play by ear, and notation, I know which notes and I know where they are. So that kind of gives me an advantage, but I don't have the third to play the guitar and gig yet. No way.
Well, I'm glad, and the country's glad that your dad got you that keyboard when your parents got you that keyboard.
Oh, thank you.
It was just a great performance. I really, really appreciate you joining me tonight on the Brad Cooney Show. But before I let you go, I want to give you an opportunity to tell all the listeners out there where they can follow you on your social media, websites, things like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, this is Terrence Cunningham. You can find me on Instagram at A Friend to the World, all one word. A Friend to the World is my Instagram. The Facebook is Terrence, facebook.com/Terrence.Cunningham. You can look me up on YouTube. I believe the address is, I think you just put in Terrence Cunningham and all my stuff comes on YouTube. I think the address is youtube.com/A Friend to the World. I think that's it. It's either a bit.ly site, which is bit.ly/A Friend to the World. And my website, I have a blog site, which is IamTerrence, TerrenceCE.com. And my official website now is TerrenceCunningham.com.
And there it is, folks. I told you I was going to get him, and we got him on the show. Terrence, thank you so much. Best of luck going forward. We'll be watching you. We'll be pulling for you.
It's my pleasure, brother. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Hi everybody, my name is Katrina Gray and you're listening to the Brad Cooney Podcast show, and that's the place where you can listen to all the cool podcasts. Enjoy!